So it's been a while since I made a video, and we are now in 1.21.7, I believe, the new Happy Gas update. And also, I am on a new computer. The quality of this video should improve dramatically. The quality of my gameplay has improved dramatically. I use Bobby Mod now, so I can actually see what's around me instead of flying blind through the white void. And as you may notice, I have done a lot of work in the base area recently. First of all, the labyrinth is completely done. It is fully finished. It is open for play. It has been that way for a while. I've kind of been waiting until my new PC was ready to record a video. This project was done before the PC was built. So, yeah, so let's take a look at it. So, quick explanation of the labyrinth, which is called Jiboto's Challenge or Jiboto's Labyrinth. You come through my nether portal to my base, set your spawn, drop off your items, read the 13-page book, some of which is optional. Turn off the beacons, and then you follow the signs that say Jiboto's Labyrinth. Or Bodo's Labyrinth, not Jiboto. The G is definitely silent. I've been mispronouncing it. So you go this way for Bodo's Labyrinth. You go across my wheat fields. A little unorthodox entrance, but I don't know. I think it's cool. So this is the entrance to the labyrinth, and your basic goal is to enter the labyrinth, complete 5 unique challenges, and obtain the 5 artifacts, and then make your way to the exit, which you can actually see over there now. This is the exit right here, but we'll come back to this later. Challenge 1, the main entrance is right here. There are other entrances, but this is the main entrance. Starts in this big room. It's a lava parkour challenge. Some areas have lava, some don't. But yeah, basic idea is you find your way through the labyrinth here. You navigate your way through the parkour, sometimes over lava, to find this artifact. And then once you have the artifact, you can enter or exit from any entrance. Here's another one of the entrances. It's just out here in the labyrinth. Challenge number 2 is directly across from the lava parkour challenge. This is the water maze. So your basic goal in here is to not drown and find your way around. Search every little nook and cranny because the artifact is hidden somewhere in this area. There's air holes, so you don't drown. But there's also guardians that will shoot at you. They're pretty easy to avoid because all you have to do is break line of sight. And I mean, I have Depth Strider on right now, but even without it, it's really easy to avoid them. So here's another breathing spot. But yeah, this is basically just a straight up like powers of observation kind of thing. You just look around, try to find the artifact, avoid the guardians, and just like the lava maze, there are multiple ways in and out. Challenge 3, the main entrance is directly under the diamond beacon. So if you're in the labyrinth and you head towards the beacon beam, you'll eventually make your way to this main chamber. And this is the main entrance to what I'm calling the Pale Zone. And this challenge is similar to the water challenge, that your basic goal is to just navigate the area and find the artifact, and there's a threat you need to deal with, which are the creaking. But there's a twist. So during the day, obviously, creaking don't spawn. So it's a lot safer in here. There are a few named creaking, because if you name a creaking, they don't despawn during the day. So there are a few named ones in here. Although I believe, I don't know, there were 4. But when I came here earlier, I only saw 1. So I don't know what happened to the other 3. But this is a door. So during the night, the doors will be open, but this area will be significantly more dangerous. And it's actually turning night right now, so we'll get to see that. During the day, it's a lot safer, but there's only one way in or out. And during the night, it's more dangerous, but there's, there's more entrances and exits. See, there are the creaking. And the gimmick with this one is you kind of have to do the labyrinth backwards. It's easier to keep track of the guys in front of you than to try to run away from them. So you just kind of keep them in your sight and navigate backwards. See if this door is opened yet. It's on a daylight sensor. I don't know when it opens. There we go. Finally. Takes a minute. And the iron bars are there so the creaking don't escape. Particularly the named ones. So the named ones don't wander out and get stuck out here. This is the 3rd challenge. See, there's a lot of them in here at night. But you could bait them all to a door. Not this door, because this door is kind of in the middle of a hall. But there is a door around here somewhere. Right here. And this door is actually broken because it's on a chunk border. But if you... See, here's one of the named ones. If you could bait all the creaking to this door, or most of them, and then you could go back around to the other side. That's a good strategy. Along with walking backwards. And here's another thing I added to the labyrinth is chicken cookers. Although they produce a lot more feathers than they do chicken. That was one way that I tried to manage the amount of food you would need in the labyrinth, along with berry bushes. So the 4th challenge ended up becoming a vertical traversal challenge. Originally I said that I wanted to make it into a sort of dropper, kind of like in Tears of the Kingdom, the dive challenges. But instead of a classic dropper, so now it's a, well, I'm calling it a vertical traversal challenge. So basically, there's no, like, I mean, I guess there is, like, there is a couple blocks you could drop all the way to the bottom safely, but they're really hard to see from up here. You can take the slime blocks, that's a good way. That's a good way to make it a big chunk of the way down, but it's still not at the bottom. So the goal is obviously to find the artifact. But the artifact is... I'll give a hint. The artifact is in one of the buildings. So obviously this area is modeled after the Cyberpunk city on the last world, because I really like that area. And a lot of these, most of these builds are like directly stolen from that. Like this is one of Brun's builds, I believe. This is Amy's build. This was part of Brun's build. This was one of Maz's builds, I think. It's basically just a complete mess of all the different Cyberpunk builds. Like, I think this was part of Ari's build. Got some of my builds. We got the news tower that was never got used. Got the construction site. I think this was Maz's chop shop. Amy's diner. Got Crin's power plant towers. And then the police station. I believe this was Ari's radio station, I think. And then at the very bottom are some builds I just did myself. This one is inspired by one of Brun's. This one was inspired by one of Brun's. This one was original, but I took the Pepsi logo from one of Brun's builds. And then the sandstone one, that one's mine. I just came up with that. The artifact is hidden somewhere in here, in one of the buildings. And then once you have the artifact, you can just make your way down and take the bubble column back up. So really there are two ways to go about this challenge. Either you drop all the way down via the slime block and then parkour your way back up to where the artifact is, or you can start at the top and then slowly make your way down. Not like that, but yeah, you can climb down the ladder, go down here, and then there's multiple ways down. Like you can go down here, and then across here, down here, and then from here. You know, you parkour down safely. You'll take a little bit of damage, but not too much. Like, this part is probably where you'll take the most damage, I think, if you go the desired, like the safest path. So you can go inside that building. See, and that wasn't the intended way. You're supposed to go on the ledge up there and not fall down like I just did. So yeah, it's a tricky little challenge. The challenge is pretty much to make it down to the artifact safely. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you where the artifact is. You're going to have to find that out on your own. But yeah, that's the goal, is to make it safely down to the artifact and bring it back up. Is actually really close to the city, the fourth challenge, the city pit. This is the desert parkour. So this parkour is easier than the lava parkour because there's no, like, obviously there's no lava. And yeah, you can hear it through the wall. There are Ravagers in here now. What's his name? His name is Opuni. There are a few servants of Boto, is what I'm calling them, the servants of Boto. They are there to... They don't want you here, basically. They're here to keep you from succeeding. But yeah, we've got the desert parkour here. And I keep failing this jump. Okay, hold on. I have to make this jump. There we go. See, that's the first parkour section. You can't get up. If you just try to walk past, you can't get up right there. Then you move on to this section, which is a trap. And that is what the focus of this section is. This section is trap focused with parkour elements. So there are short sections of parkour, and then there's a trap, and then a short section of parkour, and then a trap. So you want to be really careful going through this area. I mean, and this trap is kind of obvious what it does. It's just dispensers and pressure plates. So it's not complicated. And then we've got a section here and a death pit down to bedrock with spikes at the bottom. And then you got to avoid the cactuses here, or the cacti. And then we've got a pufferfish death pit. And then the final parkour section up to the artifact. Looks like I need to restock the artifacts, but I mean this one isn't complicated. It's not really a maze. This part isn't a maze really. It's pretty much like a straight up trap run thing. Like there's one way in, one way out. Well, I guess there's two ways in because you can come in right here. Above the death pit, you can come in through the wall right here. So there are things like that where there might be a more optimal way to get the artifact. Like instead of going through the parkour and the pressure plate trap, you could just skip halfway into the desert parkour. And then over here, there's a final, I guess you call it a final test. There is a Ravager that you have to get past. Like you can loop him around and get him stuck at a different door. Like, cause all of these entrances, I think, well, except for these two, all three of these connect to the same place, so you can pull him over to one of these doors, and then like if you pull him to this second one, you can go through the first one. Or I believe he likes to hang out around here somewhere. Yeah, right there. So if he's over on that hill, which he probably will be, then it's pretty easy to just bypass him, like I did. Another chicken machine. Nothing in it. Not surprised. Then you come around this corner, and this is the exit. So the way you leave is place each artifact in the respective barrel below, just like the sign says. And it will only take the correct item. Like, it won't take just like random food or whatever that you try to throw in there. It won't take it. It will only take the correct named artifact. Put one in each barrel, and then the lights will turn on from left to right. No matter which artifact you put in first, it doesn't matter. It'll light up this way. Once all the lights are on, then the door will open. And I'm just going to go through the exit. So you come through, you push the button. It shouldn't do anything because it's closed currently. And then there's a book here that just says, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. And then if you left your items in the barrel at the beginning, you're going to have to take a boat and then follow the river. Or if you were smart and you put your items in your ender, you can just grab them out of there. I experimented with trying to do like a minecart ride or ender pearl stasis chambers or killing the player and delivering the gift that you get for finishing the labyrinth and delivering it to the entrance, but there's no need for that level of complexity. Just congratulations, you win. Now you're free to leave. Like, you can just go this way, climb down the wall. The labyrinth isn't the only project that I've finished, however. I have finished all three of the major projects. And as a reminder, the main three projects were the river, the labyrinth, and the forest. So the river has been done for quite a while. I think I'm done with the river. I'm not going to do the hill over here because I'd either have to like push the land back to make it look nice or figure out something else. So I think it's fine. Like, I had the idea to make it into like a rocky cliff, and I might do that still. I haven't really decided, but that's an idea I had. But that's a separate thing to the river. I think the river's done. And the forest is done. It took freaking forever to build enough trees to actually make it look nice. But it's finally done. I kind of gave up on the ground cover. Like, I was going to do terracotta and dead bushes and mushrooms and stuff on the ground. And I did a little bit of that. Like that was the initial area, but for this area I kind of just did leaf spam because I was tired of I was tired of working on it. So, I mean, it still looks okay. I might come back and change it a little bit, the ground cover. But other than that, forest is done. Like there's nothing to add. And then around the outside, I've done a bunch of these boulders that I think look really nice. And they kind of circle the entire forest. It wasn't really supposed to end up like that, but it did. So we got these boulders kind of encircling the entire forest. There's even a big one with water coming out of it. I was going to do another one here, but um, I guess I didn't end up doing it. And then I asked Brun to just bring the spruce trees over here and fill this area, and it looks really nice. The main area around Yggdrasil is probably my favorite part of the base, of our collective base. This area is really, really cool. And then I built these kind of stony spires or cliffs or rocks or whatever you want to call them. And they were inspired by the boulder design. So I built the boulders first, and then I was like, hey, what if I um because I had an idea early on in like before the server started, because there's these, I don't remember what it's called, but there's this like park, national park in China where they have these really tall like rocky spires. And I thought those were really cool. I thought it'd be cool to build a base with a bunch of those around. And that's what I've ended up doing in this section that we have. This section kind of borders Bronze area. We've got the Viking area, which is like the village where our villagers are, and then Brun's got his Triassic Park. But we had this area over here that was just kind of empty, and I decided to put my big rocks over here. And at some point, we're going to build Mud Run, which was a game that Brun built back in 1.19 in the Wolfpack area, and I thought that would be really cool. Because now we have the pig variants. The three major projects are finally done. The labyrinth, the river, and the forest. I think I called it project number 4, if I remember right. The temple. This would be project number 4. So the last video, I believe the bridge was built and this building was built. And I designed most of this in creative already by that point. At least this long section in the middle. Like these two towers and these two towers. And then the wall in between. So a lot of what you see from this angle was built already in creative mode. And all I really had to do was bring it over into the survival world. Like this section and this front section here, and then these two towers on this side. So this middle section I designed later. Originally the plan was to extend this roadway out that way. Or this like bridge thing, whatever you want to call it. And have the temple kind of go out like out here into the water. You know, in like a rectangular shape. But I don't know, I changed my mind, I guess. I ended up designing this kind of hillside thing. So now the temple looks like it was carved from or built around this kind of hill structure, which I think looks really cool and was kind of accidental. because I built this front cliff face first, and then the temple was up off the ground, so I needed to bring the terrain up. And then we've got some smaller rock formations here. This area is still not filled in, but I ended up tearing out. I did just flat, like, moss blocks across here. I was going to build some kind of garden, but I ended up doing this, which slopes down. And I haven't decided what this is going to be yet. If I'm going to, like, fill it with water. That was one idea. Or, I don't know, I could dig it down a little bit deeper and do something. But, I don't know. I don't know what this is yet. I haven't decided. And, of course, the inside. Completely empty. Like, all that's in here is a beacon. Even the terrain under here. So you can see how far the temple was up off the ground. I didn't want to just extend it downwards. So I ended up doing some custom terrain. So future plans for the temple. I need to do something with this terrain around the outside. Like I discussed, I might do the cliff face idea here. And then on the other side, I don't know. I might do trees. I really didn't want to design another tree type. Kind of like that oak tree over there on top of the small temple. Because originally I had a couple small birch trees here. There were a couple small birch trees here to match that area. But I think I want to change them to oak and make them like all bent and twisted like that one. So yeah, I think it would look cool if they match this one. Put two trees there, maybe one on the cliff. And then have a couple around the outside, not too many. I'm not doing another forest like this. Yeah, add some block variation, maybe the terracotta, do some ground foliage, maybe some rocks, stuff like that, just to kind of fill the space. And then that would be pretty much it for this little archipelago thing, or peninsula, because an archipelago is a chain of islands. The peninsula is like Florida, like a piece of land that sticks out. That's kind of what this is, because it's got the river around it. Yeah, and this area looks really, really cool at night. I don't know how well it comes through with the YouTube compression, but like with the long distance, it looks really, really cool. This would be a good opportunity to go take a look at Brun's area, because he wants to show me something right now. Ooh, these are cool. These are like, well, they remind me of ostriches. I noticed this thing earlier. Oh wait, is this a mosasaurus? Yeah, I really like what Brun's been doing over here with all the trees. It's so atmospheric and so cool. I want to take inspiration from this somehow. I thought about doing these kind of birch trees over by the temple, but I think I'm done with birch trees for now. I really like the ones like this one with the acacia that he's doing. I think those are really cool. Like there's another one. Yeah, this whole area is really, really cool. He's got these dinosaurs. I didn't even see that one. That one's cool. So if you get a bunch more of those over the area, it'd look really, really cool. You know, that makes me think, did those kind of, what are those called? Pterodactyls? Pterodons? Did they fly in a, they didn't fly in a V, did they? That's just like, that's only geese, right? Or other birds? Oh, I guess we wouldn't know, would we? I don't know if they were migratory. Yeah, this area is really, really cool too. So, this building, which I am now calling the Arboreal Temple, has a little hole right here. And this is a project that I started working on. I actually finished digging out this space. I started doing it a while ago, but I needed more granite for the... When I was building the labyrinth walls, I needed more granite. So I started digging this out more. And then once the labyrinth was finished, I fully finished digging it out. And it connects to this natural cave where I built this farm, which was gonna be, it was gonna use stone generators and then convert it into moss and then grow azalea trees on it to make it into rooted dirt and then convert the rooted dirt into mud. And then obviously then it was gonna blow up the mud when it came through here. But this project is abandoned. I don't want to do it. It's gonna cost so much bone meal. Like, it's gonna chew through bone meal to an insane degree. So, this project is functionally abandoned. Um, I do use it to convert concrete, though. And I can still use it to make mud out of dirt. It's easier to just go out to a mangrove swamp and just destroy the landscape. But if I wanted to, I could convert it. I could convert dirt. You place it on the torch, and then this machine here would use a bottle and make it into mud. Now all I use it for is concrete. You can place the concrete powder here, and then the water turns it into concrete, and then it just blows up. So it's good for that, but making mud automatically is not really something I need to do. It's not really something I want to do either, because, like I said, it's gonna absolutely chew through bone meal, and I don't really want to build moss farms for it. What I might end up doing is making this water platform smaller, because obviously it does not need to be this big if I'm not building the rest of the farm. So I might shorten that just to save some space. And yeah, there's a slime chunk over here. That's why it's all slabbed. And then over here in the center, I kind of breeze past it. These are the beacons. They're currently off because somebody played the game, I think. And I never turned them back on. And then this is just a basic, like, really basic item sorter. For when I was digging it out, it's just not much of that in there, but got a lot of stone, cobblestone, andesite. You know, you get the idea. Gravel. And then just everything else filters in here. And I manually sorted it. Like, I put all this garbage up here. But yeah, that's all that's really down here. Oh yeah, the furnace array. This is the same furnace array I had in the castle basement. I changed out the prismarine for resin. Technically, we have a smelting array in the tree. This one. This is our community smelting array for our little group. It's super basic. I didn't build it. But it has the chest minecarts. output, but it was too slow for me. Like I was trying to smelt like a whole shulker box full of materials, and it was taking forever. So I built my own smelting array. So Brun has actually started working on our nether hub, our little Yggdrasil hub. And I think it looks really nice. I wanted to add some texture in the walls. I just haven't done it yet. And then that's the main tunnel. We've got this tunnel that needs to be done to the starting area. Or just wall it off, I guess. I mean, either or. We got the tunnel to Boto's Labyrinth, which I need to do. And then this one goes to Amy's area. And the Eye Blossom and map making areas. Oh yeah, this, I finally did the ground level connection to the storage area. It was just a hole in the hillside, but I actually built a little structure around it. It's kind of like a little church kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. It's just like a pyramid, like a not a pyramid, but it's got the roof and then it's got these two towers that are kind of ruined. Yeah, just goes down into this area. So over there in that area, that's something that Braun has been working on. It's Settlers of Catan, which is a board game. I've never played it, and I know very little about it. But he's got these, he did some redstone over here. He's got dice rollers. There's a score, way to keep track of the score. And then there's these, like, resource dispensers. And then he's got all these tiles built up. And like I said, I don't really know that much about Catan, so I can't really, I can't really comment too much on it because I've never played the game or seen it played, so I have no idea how it works. Yeah, I'm really loving Bobby Mod. Like, you can see the starting area over there. You can see Trash Panda's area. You got Brun's Triassic Park, and the tree looks amazing. And even, like, I can fly up, and then you can see the whole labyrinth, temple. Got the Viking area. We've got the spires. And then we've got Amy's, whatever this is. I don't know if it's a statue. It covers the, there's a pillager outpost underneath it, I believe. It reminds me of that, from the movie Moana, the island lady. I don't remember what her name was. That's what it reminds me of. It's really cool to see in the background. Like if I'm just like over here, really cool to see that off in the distance. So, future projects. I started doing a fine art map series, and I've only built the first one so far. I want to do a couple more, so I need to find time to do that. This area off to the left, or my right, over here, next to the temple. I need to terraform that area. Or not terraform it, but like put something there, like trees. And then the area to my left, or your right, over there, need to build mud run with Brun. So that's kind of the new 3 projects, I guess, is the temple outskirts, the fine art series of maps, and the mud run. So, this is the end of the video. It's been a while since I've recorded anything, but for good reason. I have a new PC now, so hopefully the quality of the videos will improve dramatically. The quality of my gameplay will improve dramatically. And I'll also have the ability to play other games, which will mean that I'll have less time on Minecraft. But maybe the other games I play will give me some kind of inspiration as to how to continue my builds in this world. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!